Today we're going to be talking a little bit about life after college, what that looks like, how that feels, what the process is. I'm sure many of you, whoever is watching, already kind of understands, how difficult the process can be. The reason I want to talk about this is because this is becoming an increasing problem in today's, job market. Finding employment is not as easy as you think, and finding something that you feel like you can really excel in and you feel prepared for. So, with that being said, I did find some actual statistics on this, and it's not just me. It's been shown that many people getting their bachelor's degree, about 43%, in America today, are underemployed. Now, what does that mean? I did not say unemployed. I said underemployed, meaning they're entering into jobs that require less than what they went to school for. Primarily due to because most entry-level positions are requiring more skill sets than what people going to school for when they graduate have. This could be a plethora of things, from the soft skills, which could be communication, which could be how you interact with other people, which could be leadership skills, all the way to those hard skills that maybe you weren't able to get through an internship or other work while you're in school. And not only that, depending on your degree, that also can heavily influence what kind of job that you get then after graduation. And it has been shown that a majority of those that get their education degree, 50% English language and literature, 45% business and marketing, 47% are underemployed. So what does that look like? Someone gets a bachelor's degree, they're about 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. They get out of school and now they're a barista at Starbucks. And what ends up happening when you become underemployed, again, according to the statistics, you're more than likely to stay stuck in whatever it is that you're underemployed in. And basically that can look like cleaning industry, and most of these, here we go, food preparation service, transportation, fishing, farming, forestry, building, maintenance, cleaning, and these, once you enter into those fields, it's harder to then escape. So it's kind of like a catch-22, because you spent this money. We're not even going to go into the debt problem. You spent this money, and now you're thinking like, all right, I'm set. I do have some experience on my belt, but unfortunately not quite enough for what the employer is looking for in your area. And just depending on where you're located, what's available. Another interesting statistic I found was that on average it takes 7.4 months after graduation to then find a job, okay, that you really feel like I can actually move upwards and get the skills, and it relates to my degree, and it's something I feel like I really want to do. To take an account for, and it's not just like income, how much am I getting paid? It's, does this position offer me the skills that I really think that I want to gain more of or advance in? Does this company, organization, what is the work-life balance like? What is the culture like? How is the supervision? Is this something that I could see myself doing for the next year to 5 years? And is this something that, I could feel proud about? It fulfills me. It feels good, to go into work every day. Is this something that is close to home, wherever you live? Is it a commute? Is it something that can help support myself and my family? Is it something that I really feel, can get me to wherever it is that I'm going professionally? So, and a lot of times we kind of just, take whatever we can get for that time. We don't want to be unemployed for a long period, and we don't want to have that gap on our resume, but I think, if possible, it might be more sufficient to be a little bit more strict. The National Center for Education Statistics, which says, like, of course, people are employed, right? They're employed. You get a higher education, you're more likely to be employed. But what they're not saying is what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're working in when we're, when we have our education, when we have that, we went through all those years of schooling. And for myself, I went to school for sociology. My bachelor's is in that because I actually really enjoyed learning about those topics, and it was interesting to me, and I highly valued it. But when I graduated, my first job out of school was being a daycare provider, working on little kids, which I love working on kids, right? But what kind of message does that signal to then an employer if I'm looking for full-time work and I want to be a little bit more at advanced level, right? So how do we combat this concern? How do we go against the grain and fight the statistics? And there is no clear-cut answer. There is no one step fits all, one size fits all. All we can do is try to, I think, first and foremost, take a deep breath and center ourselves, as difficult as that could be, whatever it is that you find relaxation in. And then afterwards, if you're still in school, maybe seeing what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you enjoy doing, and what it is that you want to build your skills in while you're still in school. And then after school, maybe you can do the same thing, but utilizing the resources in your community, as opposed to when you're in school, utilizing more of the resources that are on campus. So what I mean by that is the career services could be of use, your professors, classmates. If you have a part-time job on campus, your employers. If you have an internship, your supervisor, your colleagues there, all those could be of a resource while you're still in school, as well as volunteer work. Don't underestimate the power of volunteering. And you can volunteer whether it's once a week, twice a week, as many times as you want at your preferred place of work once you get done with school, or at a local nonprofit, or anywhere really that can offer that, the ability for you to get in somewhere and to build those skills. And it's not easy, but it's a start, and it can really help and can lead you, who knows, into another direction. Somebody might know something and can lead you to a job that you really want to be in. So that can help, and that kind of leads into networking. Again, just getting out there, talking to people, your friends, family members, again, people on campus, employers that you already have worked for, are working for, or like to work for, reaching out somehow via email, phone calls, in person. You just gotta say, hey, I'm looking for this kind of work, or maybe I'm just looking to gain some skills in this. Do you think maybe, you might be able to assist, be a mentor? Maybe if you need help, I can be the one to help. So anything like that, just being able to talk and communicate what it is that you really want, what you desire, what you're passionate about. And maybe it's still a work in progress. Maybe you're still figuring that out. Maybe you never knew that you really liked to teach, but you're in a kinesiology major. So maybe you could be part-time, working while you're still on campus as a gym instructor, and you can build those teaching skills. those team management skills, back into those soft skills. You're building those soft skills. Then the hard skills would be the actual like class management, gym exercises, so to speak. Whatever kind of exercise that you're utilizing, you're building those kind of hard skills related to your degree. So those kind of can go hand in hand, and you got to kind of think outside the box a little bit, because unless your degree is very technically related, say you're going for computer science, and it's like, can't really, I mean, it's kind of hard to expand on something that's very, very technical. A lot of education, you can really branch out. There might be a position you never thought related to what it is that you're doing, and you kind of have to work around that. So another thing is, again, utilizing those resources when it comes to fixing up your resume, your cover letter, making sure you have references. References are so important. That comes back to networking, and making sure you have those contacts and keeping in contact, your supervisors, your professors, colleagues, classmates. I mean, when you become a working professional, you know, you have to be a little bit more strategic about how you're planning your time, and professionally, I mean, how you make yourself look to the world, how you're perceived. Soft skills are so important. Problem solving, decision making, coaching, teamwork, being flexible, adaptable work environment, organizational skills, communication. So building those up, and then your hard skills for whatever it is that you're trying to get into, and making sure that you have those technical, like I said, technical skills. That could be, you know, maybe if you're doing something that involves a lot of computer work, and you need to have certain computer programming skills, or say, for example, I tried applying for development positions, a nonprofit, and they required you to know how to use a certain program called Razor's Edge. I didn't have that experience. There's a lot of things I did not have, and trying to figure out, how do I get those things? Where do I start? Again, goes back to who can you reach out to, and building those relationships. Maybe your school offers the internships that you really need, and you've researched those organizations, and they're going to give you what you want to get to where you need to be. So all that can help, and then just asking for support. You know, this is a hard process, and it's hard to stay positive. So just remembering, thinking back to what have you gained, and feeling good about yourself, feeling confident in who you are, and knowing that it's a work in progress. It's not easy. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, and it may take many months. So having a plan that if it does take many months, that you're secure, you have the support there, and knowing you're not alone, and feeling like you can do it. Just, you know, maybe setting aside some time at the end of the day to just reflect, meditate, pray, whatever it is that brings you peace. Also remembering that self-care is so important. I think a lot of times we forget about that, and that could be a whole nother discussion, but just remembering that you are in it to win it for you, and no one else has the right to judge, criticize, or tell you which way to go, even if you are reaching out to friends and family for that support, and maybe they might be helpful, maybe not. It's up to you ultimately where you want to go, and where you see yourself. And I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing that people have been taking careers in this, in YouTube, and in all kinds of different fields, and online, social media influencers. So it's up to you really how you kind of go to where you want to go, and work related, life related. Just knowing that there are other people out there that are in the same boat and are figuring it out. So hopefully this was a good video, and there was a lot that was talked about here. So if you have any input, any questions, comments, feel free to discuss it down below. I want this to be an open forum, and hopefully we can learn a lot from each other. So we'll see you next time.